are getting into the action, and to be honest with you, we're quite deep into these playoffs, baby. My name is Vincent, joined by Get the Bag Mark as usual. Marky, I'm excited to be here. How are you doing?
You know I am always feeling good when we got playoffs on the line, Vinny. I mean, we're already pushing to the holiday season. Thanksgiving right around the corner. Getting into December means we got championships on the line, Vinny. It's got to start somewhere, right? We're hopping right into a semifinal, so things are going to get pretty crazy right away.
Yes, sirree. And what do we have on the docket for this semifinal? Well, it's going to be the University of Texas at Austin up against the Ashland Eagles. We haven't gotten the privilege to see this UT squad just yet. I'm excited to see them. We haven't gotten the privilege to see them on broadcast, that is. But an Ashland team that we're pretty familiar with, that we've been able to cover a couple of times over the course of this season, whether here at the NECC or elsewhere. So I'm pumped up to see this, and particularly because we're jumping into that semifinals. We've already had a quarterfinal. Both these teams, I would say, making it through fairly easily. Not too big of a deal as well. I'm pumped up for it. What's the vibes coming into this, Mark?
It's a new vibe for UT, right? I mean, where did the Matthew McConaughey Brandon go? You know, that's my first question, Vinny. But, you know, where you are obviously, I feel like, you know, where we are probably a little bit like just biased in our experience having Ashland on stream. We've gotten to see them a lot. And, you know, I mean, seeing Zion and co become quite a force. We have seen them 2-0 a lot of teams. So I feel like this is where we get into, you know, accounting for that quarterfinal, where the semifinal is going to get interesting, especially in the vetoes, which maybe we can pull up.
Yeah, let's jump into that. I mean, listen, as a head-to-head comparison, right? You know, this UT team hasn't dropped a series all season long. They're 7-0. That was over in Group A. But Group C for Ashland, a tough group, might I add. You know, they played deep into that one. They beat the likes of RIT. They beat the likes of Davenport, who UT had to beat in order to get here. But they did lose to Drexel. So there is a loss on the books there in comparison, if we're kind of bringing that. But that leads us into this veto. Doesn't seem like a huge surprise to see a Mirage. This is a Mirage that we've seen UT play like 6 times over this season. They have been here a lot. It is the only map that they've ever lost here at the NECC, though. So, I mean, take that as you will. It was against a Texas A&M Maroon squad that is very good, to be fair. But we've seen a lot of Ashland on this Ancient, and I think that is always going to be tough against this Ashland squad, leaving us with an Inferno Decider. I don't know about you, but this feels like it could still go any direction after the veto.
Don't even ask me to predict an Ashland Mirage. Any Mirage that they're playing in is always going to be going into like a 16-14. Like, it's always just going to be at the flip of a coin. So I think it could be really interesting to see how UT pick into it, right? Where, like, especially, I'm anecdotally making that pick for Ashland, but they have been so tight within a lot of these Mirages. But, excuse me as I hit my mic accidentally, against all great competition, Vinny, when we have seen their officials come down. So I'm excited to see UT out here. Some names that, honestly, you know, it's been a little while since we've gotten, you know, the milkman on our screen, several of these players.
Yes, indeed. You and I were over on the UT Austin campus during the summer.
Yes, we were. I loved it.
Good time. We'll have to get into that in a little bit, but we're shaping up for a
center
B hit. That's right, over at the major. A B hit that I was going to say seems likely to get going rather quickly. It's the utility, or rather the single smoke that Obscure is setting up. He also has got the bomb in hand. But everybody else sits and waits for the contact that Thunis is likely to make eventually out here in mid, though nobody's seen just yet. It's pretty separate. Ashland playing the sights more than anything.
Zion looking over towards Catwalk. He's the eyes in this. Just up the lip of it. I am so surprised it goes that easily into middle for this opening kill. Honestly, not waiting for a whole lot of time to pull off these rotations. It's still going to be the same pair here. But Zion starts off with a really good kill. I'm surprised nobody is overarching from that side. Now they do run him down. And just a brief advantage over in Austin's side. Right at the moment, they stand at door. And now DeFishman is just going to absolutely box us out. Close range. And with the Obscure on 9 HP. Doesn't matter because they're taking all the headshots. Spaz at the end. And Ashland got themselves a CT pistol.
Nice couple of kills from the Fishman in particular, with Ashland, though, making sure that, they can actually recover that round despite Funness doing a great job. He finds a kill out in the lurk, and that is made it harder for Ashland, or at least slowed down the rotations because they're worried more about Funness. It forces him into a little bit of a worse position initially on the bottom side as well. Nobody towards bench, for example, but UT Austin not quite able to weather the storm. That being said, they do get quite a bit done in that round, and it's going to be a whole lot of Galils for them to work with because of that. Ashland, on the other hand, should be quite happy with how that one went through. Heavy presence outside of A, which, especially with the limited amount of utility that they've got, likely going to be a quicker move in that direction. It's only one guy committed to that. That's Ho-Ho there. But quick rotations inbound from jungle and connector should it be necessary.
See that jungle smoke just flying through the sky. That one takes a couple more air miles, and it's a little bit noticeable. Into the site now, at least with a little bit of troubled space, honestly. UT at this. Zion going to be successful with one spam here. I feel like the Fishman going to get close as well, but Obscure does have that trade up close, and CT will be taken personally. UT Austin get the bomb down pretty quick.
And them taking this CT space is so important, too. It's a big fight here. It's going to change the round.
It's just with that MP9 dropped by the Milkman with a great double. The Fish is going to go down, but SML just back to back having to deal with these positions. And into CT, just going to be stratted over at default as well. Milkman will be going crazy with that Mac 10 in CT. Full house shared between himself and Obscure.
Good work. I think that it's the amount of space that they get without anyone being the wiser initially that's really problematic for Ashland. I talked about getting into CT control. Obviously, winning that is the other aspect to the round that really turns it into UT's favor. But otherwise, Ashland never really had an impact there until the bomb gets planted. And the A defender, the single man who was actually there in Ho-Ho, basically was not able to do much of anything. That certainly problematic. You're going to see the reasons for that with the round loss, which means Ashland, similar boat that UT were just at, but a far less efficient buy, considering they don't have bomb money and such. In control for T. Austin at this point. And the reaction is to stack B.
Like just coming off the trip we were on, Vincent, over in great continent of South America, we kept seeing all of those in-game leaders, always used to the force buy right back. So I feel like we're just perfectly on rhythm now, aren't we? I feel like this will be better for Ashland too. I'm ready to see Zion scout. One bit of contact. Missed Molotov, rather. That's just a clear under. I thought it was coming towards default. That would have been just the worst thing for Spaz, who does get a little bit of help from CT, catching up and now having an advantage. So scared that they have cold feet about putting this bomb down. Now that they're going to have confirmed position and just going to chase him down. Ho-Ho gets this shot. 5-7 turns this corner. You have no chance, Obscure. So this is a site that UT used so well in round 2 is now taken right over. Ashland got their lead back.
I mean, Ho-Ho making up massively for what I was highlighting is basically nothing in defense of the A site last round. He puts it into a triple kill on the Deagle, coming in to retake a site that the bomb had yet to even go down on in the next. That's incredible work out of Ho-Ho and a resurgence, a recovery, if you will, from that previous mistake, or really, I mean, just a difficult position that he's not able to get the maximum out of. This time, it's more than the max. It's everything that Ashland needed. UT don't even get a bomb plan out of it. Look at their buy. They've got Tech 9's armor, and sometimes not even that. Actually, gone for almost no armor. I made a mistake. It's entirely an eco with some upgrades onto some better weaponry. Which means that at this point, UT Austin giving up the gambit here. They're not exactly interested in continuing for these force buy wars, which, listen, I think is a move that I can understand, but I'd say it's a rare decision.
I set Molotov down. Handle Funness trying to juke out a couple of these Ashland Eagles popping into the A site. Just gonna get this bomb plant where the Molotov arrives. A couple of more dollars out here for Austin. The Milkman will long range. Does have one on the Tech 9. Not too shabby out here for U of T. As they get this defuse, Ashland will get this third.
And they should be quite happy with that. Thinking about the way in which they set up that quote-unquote fake, it's just Funness who's walking out B, really doesn't get anything done. It's just a little bit of attention that he pulls, and yet TA are still able to get themselves a bomb plant. I'm very much happy to see that. I think that's best outcome, really. But Ashland stabilizing. Still have a couple of these AKs to work with that they had brought from round 2. This one, I mean, we talked about this game as a potential back and forth. It's already looking like that.
But it's back on the lurk, except this time it's just a little bit more on the nose of the default. Let's send that dangerous deal out up towards window, but waiting. Vision from the Fishman, just right below that smoke. But he might just put the Seichi right on him. On his right around it. Let's flash in here. Just gonna manage to get a double, or so it seems. Zion survives. And right now it's this net sequence taken. Gonna have to be a double out of metal, and it is. Really good work here. A-site turn taken. Ho-Ho yet to even make their presence known, so as soon as this smoke fades, I feel like Ho-Ho knows they're on a timer. The fear of getting cleared from the top of the balcony now has to deal with the wall bang, and that is never seen so clean. But now Ding is going to get back around, and there's the headshot. So Spaz 1v2 and away from his wheelhouse.
Yeah, but look at how separated they are. The bombs sprinting back in. Ding taking a line that makes a lot of sense, but Spaz, he's got a bit of utility for this. Tries to utilize it, and great work through the 1v1 now.
Metal, 18 HP, and it's domed. There it is. Spaz from CT coming all the way from the B site. They got enough money, so they're holding on to the AKs. Ashland Eagles are so far really doing everything required in this semifinal.
Yeah, it's 2 moments in that round that really change it for me. Obviously, SML, who I feel like somehow both connector players are blinded there by just one flashbang, but SML recovers fast enough, and it's not just getting the one. He gets a double kill. It's just incredibly impressive, to say the least. And then making sure Spaz, using what little utility he has to force the op off that angle, or at least pull him back a little bit into a little bit more of an uncomfortable position. Zion misses at the first swing, takes a second, and this time he hits the shot. One man down in mid.
Fishman gets it back. There's that spray down. That is unavoidable. Such a great nade there. Only 17 left on our boy Obscure. Release will look good. Well, only have 17 HP. I'm kind of rocking with the set Rose got on. Probably lost a little bit of value, but who am I to hate? Kind of everybody nowadays, Vinny. Love those flaps.
Actually,
got some blood on him now.
I think my inventory went up in value.
Okay, I
overall.
may have to like check back. Maybe I'm not too educated on those numbers. Ooh, M4 Buzzkill. I hear that's expensive. Actually, my USP Orion is worth like $200 now. And that was definitely not the case before when I bought it for, I think it was $90.
Yeah, I like just sold a bunch of my skins just because they were worth so much. I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm just gonna like hang on to those. So.
Oh, you're into fancy pixels too?
I mean, I am, but like not that fancy pixels. You know, I'm like a middle class pixel enjoyer.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, like it's not everything. This execute's shaping up nicely. It's really up to single defender here. And I mean, as per usually, we've been talking about Ho-Ho and the struggles, or rather the victories. But this time it's only a 1-for-1, and Thing has made sure that this is only going to be stalled out here. I don't even know if they can get back into this.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's looking a little bit too bad from our side to actually lead them through this. There's no too obvious conversation besides Spaz, who has just put on the Nikes and sprinted back to CT. That is not what you wanted to actually get in results-wise right away. 2 kills, and now it's just a little bit too far gone. U of T drop the anchor in A, carry away a second round.
Well, that'll do it. Sometimes it's not about the fanciness, right? UT, they've been really interested in a lot of their mid-control, especially on these gun rounds. They've moved late towards A, but it's mostly been a more long, extended round that they've planned out. This one, it's all about the norm, right? Take just one swing at it, hit the A site, and hit it with some pace. I think that there's value there. UT Austin, they find that value over Wilm Ho-Ho, who can only offer up the single defensive kill. And so the Eagles will save what they've got, but plenty of money here for the rebuy. Not going to invest it all towards taking middle, do the CTs. They're sprinting up catwalk, though. Ashland got to be careful.
Missile pillar. This has had to have been communicated to Spaz in the back of the bomb site, who does manage to get one, but that's not good enough. I would imagine that Spaz would probably have to net 3 kills here in totality to actually make this a winnable round. Ho-Ho can't make the jump back to catwalk. Fresh smoke back inside a market window, and it's going to be U of T linking up 2 rounds together here. I don't think they've done that yet.
No, they haven't. And, you know, it's off the back of 2 very different but similarly scaled plays in that they're both quick, and it's a lot of set utility that's going into these early locations. It's also just like a fantastic opener that Obscure, I think it was, found on catwalk. That's so difficult to defend against, and once that cat player is already down, I mean, you were highlighting it, Spaz, he's got to do some miracles of some sort there from the back of the site. It's so difficult for him to just get a couple of kills, and he would have needed 3, as you mentioned. So Ashland looked to save again. Unfortunately as well, Zion's op got cut off. It was rotating from A site, and it got cut off from Cat as well. So Ashland didn't have a lot of teeth to the retake, even if they had tried it. As you said, a couple of rounds in a row. UT Austin happy with this, but Ashland continue buying.
They had a really heavy A site setup similar to this. They went just without the flash into A ramp. They had 3 players feeling it out. Here, Ding is just going to be getting out of here in just insane fashion. Gets this kill, not even tradable. Looks like the rest of UT is going to be at least sizing up the B site, where there already has been a little bit of blood spilled, and Ashland have fallen back because of finding that kill.
This is something that, you know, Zion's now got a responsibility to cover the whole site himself. Already hit one nice shot, but unfortunately caught a little bit asleep. Honest, nothing done, and this feels like another one that has to change now. And maybe Spaz has just done that.
What a lineup for SML, potentially. A default, the flick back over. A 2v2. I think this position, then yet gone to the max. Essentially, that's all you can do. Back from Cat. Running back up in the next couple of seconds. I did not realize, Vincent, that there was a smoke also on door. Big decision to be made here with this HE. They're just going to distract, and there's the reaction out from E-Box. Spaz, now another clutch opportunity. Pulls it to the site, but just eyes in the wrong place right now. Being avoided pretty well. Obscure has every little clue. And now around this corner has made the mistake. It's costly, and it's gone. 6 rounds back for Ashland right on the tee.
Dude, it was so close. That's under the second mark. That is so very close to nearly going wrong for Ashland. I don't even want to call that a mistake from UT. That's some great baiting right there that was just done in that clutch moment. Looking to bait left, then go back right, ensure that, you know, there's a question mark about where he's actually going and how to play that ring around the rosy. It's It's not something that is so precise as to say there's a right and a wrong. UT not going to be able to keep building with 3 rounds in a row of victories, but they want to go back to something that's just succeeded. Look back now as this AXX comes hot again.
Really well placed incendiary. They get the Fishman in front of the smoke. I feel like this could cost him. The angle from Palace does end up catching him. UT are going to get another bomb plant opportunity. Mental goes into CT for a 1v1. Does have a player close enough to trade him, Vincent. Spaz here. Also, no help and drowned at 50 HP. It would have to be SML for a clutch here.
Seems unlikely. Look at how separated these U2 players are at. Bonus all the way forward into CT and Obscure is at A ramp. Bomb planted for both of them. There's no safety here. At least SML has a kit and a lot of util.
Check. Not to run him down now. Close this distance. There's just no chance. UT are doing a really good job earning their respect back on this T side. They're all of a sudden up to 4, and they have an eco round.
There's been a lot of ups and downs to this half, but it's been primarily these quicker plays that UT Austin have had success with. Ashland struggling to reliably deal with those. Again, Ho-Ho limited to just 1. He kind of does his job there, but it's hard to have the right solution when these retakes have been so difficult, much less when UT are taking control of CT so efficiently. I find it interesting that it's UT calling the tac pause here, but they know they've got a little bit of an advantage. And you said an eco upcoming, but it looks like Ashland have gone with a different direction to that. I would have imagined an eco myself. With not a lot of cash on a couple of these members, that's Ashland's perspective that they should just be force buying to the end here. We've only got a couple of rounds left in this half. Ashland already solidifying at minimum a tied score line.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm as large of a fan of this force like I was earlier in the half. I'm a hater of the scout, though. That's a different thing. I am not.
You know what that means?
Get Zion up to it.
Ashland not going to eco a single round all half.
But they save in round 12. Just to spite you.
I'll have words, but we're not going to get
also. Fair enough.
I do like this setup at A. Unfortunately, UT are going right back to their older plan. I say that it's from the beginning of the half. That was, I'd call it relatively effective, but struggled to close. Certainly sights set on A based on where the bomb's located. But they've taken mid, can go up connector. In fact, they're already in jungle.
Behind that smoke at the moment. And should be able to walk and see where Spaz is at a ramp. Ho-Ho gonna get taken out. That's just from Palace, so they're not going to be aware of this flank that's actually going to be up here so close. That Zion and Spaz turning it around. They were unaware of the positioning, and all of a sudden, this Mac 10 1v3, and how ugly is that? Gonna walk back, turn to this AK, and it's going to be the headshot. Ashland, because they always bet on themselves, they are going to be getting the right reward at the end of the half here. It's going to be 7 at a bare minimum.
It's just a really nice change-up from Ashland. They know how constant UT have been putting that A site under the knife. They've been consistently either hitting A fast, execing A mid-round, or going mid to A as well. There's that one fast cat move towards B, and that's it. Outside of the pistol round for UT Austin. And I love that Ashland just go for the A stack. That's a very intelligent adjustment that they just made. As a wild top mid smoke, to be honest with you. Gonna get a flash through that.
Couple of taps for it. Everything that they can go ahead and get. Yet there's a couple of rifles I'm seeing just around out of position, and I get a Tech 9 fighting in the middle. It's just never gonna work out just the way it's supposed to, Vincent. You're trying to run that back up on the T side. Get a little into position to actually line up a kill here. He may just look timing a Spaz, but
No, I think not.
HP and Milkman, not too great.
Oh my
Now his
goodness.
positioning, give it up.
There was a moment there that Metal, I thought, had eyes on. No, not the case. Bomb sprinting the other direction. Ho-Ho set to arrive on scene approximately the same time, but with Milkman slowing things down, that will change. Metal comes to join in. So a party over at the A site, and soon to be Zion to join the fray, but he's got other responsibilities other than the A site. Mid control been lost. First round, by the way, that Ashland have fought mid all half. Another great adjustment by them. The mid round or mid game changes that they've made have really turned the tide of this half.
I'm gonna go down and easily caught by Zion and the rest of the Eagles that have a 4-round lead coming out of that first half. This is UT's map pick, so they're gonna have to come up clutch on that CT side.
Yeah, but it's a CT side that I expect they're going to be quite proficient on, right? I mentioned they've played this map 6 times this season. It's the only map they've actually dropped here over the course of the regular season, and then even into playoffs, counting both of the quarterfinal match and all of the regular season. But you know, that one loss was to Texas A&M, and I mean, Mirage is one of their best maps, if not their best map, especially with Anubis gone. So, for UT Varsity, I think that this is a CT side I have high expectations for, but I think that Ashland have taken the momentum into the second half, and a pistol round could just add on, make it even more difficult.
Running these USBs, and it could be starting out better. Nunes putting 2 right to their feet immediately. The Fishman gonna try and spam in the back in the smoke, but at least Ashland Eagles attempt a bomb plan here. Promise you there's gonna be more an aggressive spell to this. Oh no, this avenue goes both ways. And driving up it is UT. Yet I don't think they're gonna be coughing up a pistol. Both of these going to Ashland here on Mirage.
That's incredible for SML. I mean, actually crazy. And it was SML that in all the games that I saw over the course of the regular season, we got to watch this Ashland team a lot. I have it written down in my notes, and I'll read it out to you because I think that it's a perfect way to describe what just happened. It's his ability to claw back rounds, to be like the win condition for this squad that I find very impressive about SML specifically. And he does that to a T. Down 3 on 5, and then he pulls 2. As unfortunately, Thun's just getting a little bit over ambitious. You're going to see a B stack that at the start of this round looked as if Ashland might walk into, but they have looked back towards middle. They might head that way, but should get some early warning signs.
Check up top. Playing back and forth with those pistols. Checking it, rolling it back with the 5-7, and Eagles are gonna get a good check into this B site, and it won't take long. Goodness gracious, Vinny. 10
Well,
just like that.
At least it won a force buy. There's that solace there from UT Austin side. They're gonna get a real purchase at this, but as I was highlighting, right? When the half turns into an 8-4 scoreline after being pretty even almost the whole way through, that puts UT in a really tough spot because that means they've got to win now. There's no time to build up into this half. It is do or die already.
Chased out here pretty easily, even on the man's head. Oh man, a double here with this MP9, so I assume. Oh, he's got that better for you on the SMG, and it's a 4v4. So much utility. So much unnoticed room being put out towards Evox Ding, and ultimately, UT Varsity gonna lose that battle on the B site. Eagles gonna kill every single player.
You know, I talked about the first half is Ashland winning the battle of adjustments, and that's absolutely what happened. This round, it's Ashland just being one step ahead. UT trying to flood the site, trying to get back in before the bomb can get planted, before they can get into post-plant positions, but they were never committed to that bomb plant. Ashland just a little bit too on the money.
Get those shots down into Fishman. Door. There's a nade underneath. Zion with the headshot. UT Varsity getting a little bit desperate. It's got to be Ding to come up with the play, and he's all alone. Sees him running away. The bomb headed elsewhere.
Maybe they walk back into Obscure here. That's certainly going to be the case, but this is just an MP9. Nice first kill. Ding's in position. Spacing wasn't great, but Spaz, I mean, every time he's been tasked with something, he has taken that, and it's been A+ out of him, to be honest with you. And you said something in that last round that I think really resonates with me, Mark, and that is that it feels a little desperate here from UT at this point, at this stage, and I agree, right? They didn't have time to build up on this CT side. Things got out of hand so utterly, absurdly quickly, and now feels like they're just about out of ideas. This Mirage running away in Ashland's favor.
Hoping that this boost will find a kill. Just might. Hard angle to fight. But still, this Famas will take it away. Off of that, we clear a middle. And UT Varsity can change their attention because it's about to be taken out here towards A. Obscure stands with one frag and maybe even a second here. I feel like they should be holding this round, and they do. Round 17 isn't the last.
It's great work. You know, a double swing there actually in mid, and I understand that it didn't look like that because it was an isolated fight. There was a smoke down from connector that covered off the swing from window. But UT Austin making good decisions in that moment, trying to take that fight, and Obscure, who is really got a tall task. He's incredibly alone there at the A site. Ashland, it's a very obvious next step to snap towards A once they lose their one mid player. And I think UTA very much ahead of that. Know what's next in the playbook there for Ashland. But it's one step in what's going to have to be a very long road to recovery. And how long? 8 rounds in a row is the answer.
Feels like Obscure is running into some technical difficulties right now, based on what I'm seeing. That involves a quick restart, Vinny.
What would give you that impression?
Just a man laying on the ground. I don't know. In that UT computer room, though, we were lining up outside, and we can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, we were referencing that at the beginning of this map. We were at the major, but before that, well, I guess at the major weekend, we were at HLTV Confirmed, and that was held in a U of T Austin building that also comprised of the esports center that we were like forming a big line outside of. I think there were even players in there gaming while HLTV Confirmed was happening.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They got an awesome setup out there. I feel like it's I've gotten the privilege to see a bunch of like esports areas for a bunch of different collegiate programs now, doing like collegiate esports for so long at this point. It's so cool to see. It's really awesome, and they have one of the best. Oh, that well.
Wow! U of T staying alive with medals, double kill inside a connector. It feels like we're gonna get Ashland just being forced to eco maybe before this game dies down.
I think you might be right on that one. Obviously, this round, certainly a non-question. Zion would love to do a little bit of additional damage, but I don't even know how realistic that is. He'll sit and wait with the bomb, to be fair, in ramp.
Over the top. Now spacing out. All 5 alive here for UT Austin as the comeback may be on, Vinny.
Yeah, listen, I don't have any doubt that this is a team that's capable of making a comeback like this. That's really not what's in question for me, Mark. What is a question is how long are they going to be able to keep moving without making a mistake? Because that's the hardest part of this type of comeback, where you need 8 rounds in a row and nothing can go wrong. And on a CT side where you're going to struggle to set the pace, where you can't dictate how you're playing. You have to react to what Ashland's doing. That's where it becomes really tough to make that happen without any mistakes. And the problem is, I say mistakes like that's even always going to be the way in which you lose. It could just be Ashland making a really good play. You don't even have to make an error. And that's the devil of the defense, if you will. But credit to Ashland, right? They played reactive very efficiently, and that's what got them 8 rounds on their defense.
Audibly, there had to be a Q somewhere. And now maybe the mistake. Muffed in connector. It's only 1 kill. And that gun is going to be just dropped in the next couple of seconds. So it is all good for it. But a surprise up top. Spaz on that dig. And I know that we are excited to see Spaz, see Zion back-to-back in it. Actually, SML was the victim. Open plant will just be denied. That's where it goes wrong.
Yeah, a lot of ifs, coulda, maybes in this round. But all of them put to rest, at least for now. Ho-ho, the last of those standing. And a deagle, the Delta triple kill that started back in the first half of this game. Ashland into that 8-4 lead at halftime. He won't be able to offer up anything of the sort for this one. Still, a pretty wide berth that we have on this comeback, but UT, they're on the road. Here's another bye, though. The Eagles, let's see how high they can fly.
Time to fly. Well, that might be referencing a different Counter-Strike team. Can't exactly call that one up now, can we, Vinny?
So,
Fly Eagles fly. Can't do that one either. Dude, we gotta come up with some new lines here. We'll get creative, don't you worry.
the risk of being biased, the Eagles are my alma mater, to be fair. Not the Ashland Eagles.
Not the Ashland Eagles. It's some Eagle. And I can understand. SML gets that one headshot. Hopefully
A lot more.
Manage another. Yeah, you're right. You're inside a jungle, but no quick scope connection. It's SML on that double, and now Spaz in next. So SML with 3 frags, and now to Milkman to line it up. It's a 1v2. Gets this walk. Gets to walk this way for a minute, but he's gonna have to make the most and keep this Mirage alive.
It's another one of those clawback moments for SML.
Well done.
Gonna have to do it all.
Enough to get the entire thing back, Vinny. Claw back, 1 more kill. That's the connection, and he is just choosing wrong. Gotta make sure you manage your predictions properly. It's not there. It's gotta be a ramp in the connection on the spray. The Milkman keeps this Mirage moving to an 8th round. Round 20 will not be the last. I already had to say that in round 17 as this comeback is on. 4 rounds away from overtime now.
Oh, man, that one's mishandled there from Ashland, from SML, who did so much to get them there, but no need to peek at all. Literally didn't have to. He's swinging for the fences, hoping for the grand slam to get them out of this map. Their opponent's pick with a victory like that, there's just no need, and he pays the price. And to be honest, Milkman kind of looks silly there for going searching in connector, but I feel like that's actually the smart move, considering that they were positioned such that it would have made way more sense to have a guy connector. So, playing a little defense for Milkman, who almost gets beat by the time just because he checks con.
Pistols cleaned up pretty easily. Breezed by. Battle gets to farm up a couple of frags, pad the stats. It looks good on the resume, Vinny. And this entire first map will, even if it ends right now. I mean, at 13-9, a little bit more respectable score. Get that next buy up, Zion, with the op, Vinny. It's time for Ashland to submit their best card, and it feels like it's right at the tip of their deck.
I'm gonna be honest though, if that wasn't the previous round, the previous gun round, then it's gonna have to be even more impressive. Oh, it's a tag, but no frag to follow that. As Ding gets beat on the cross, jumps, hitting the leg. He's on mid for the Eagles. They encroach upon this position.
Top of it. We're getting out of connector. UT not gonna have to fight for the space, but where that Opera moves back, it could have been communicated over to Palace, yet that mistake is still made. On concrete ground are UT Austin until it gets rumbled by the Fishman. Have to see a little bit more protection from it. Lock up this op, save the gun. I don't think this is a winnable clutch, even if you do have bomb on your back. I can find the milkman, sprint to the B site.
Yeah, there is a world
recipe here. Gonna get that prediction. Zion, there's just no way. But a race to Witch Mountain, and here the B site will be bought first by UT Austin, and holding a bit of a far angle on this. They could have seen the escape, seen Zion before this bomb put down, and a 1v3 possibility to put out this map. And here is eyes on to this market player, but just the tunnel vision to him. And Thunis will have this in the backside for the University of Austin to have 10 rounds here, Vinny. Be right around the corner from overtime.
It's going to be rough for Ashland. If they could have had that round where SML swings a little bit too wide, and then it goes to overtime, they've still got a couple of chances. That bomb plant can add an additional chance, actually, which is a really big asset this deep into it. From 12-4, UT Austin, they have gotten themselves 6 rounds deep, and they want more. And I said that they could have another buy here. I'm blown away that they haven't full buy here. This is crazy. They could have had a full buy round. The only thing they couldn't afford was an op. F utility set for this B exec. It'll be the first B exec outside of the pistol round on the other half. UT Austin, they pulled one that we've seen all game.
Burning in it. And Obscure on this site. Gotta hold it. Thunis now just waiting for somebody to peek. Here's the tap, and he's gonna have to take a little bit more room for himself. University of Austin. It feels like every ounce of energy is being put back into this Mirage, Vincent. We're almost all the way there. If you deny them overtime now, it would be such a spoiler.
Well, here it is. Ashland put all the eggs into this basket. They've got one more chance to close this Mirage, to set this best of 3 up for success. By winning their opponent's map pick, moving into Ancient with a 1-0 lead. That could all be stalled right here if UT pushed to overtime. Ashland, one more shot, and they're going to take it hot towards the A site is the plan. A little bit of formation being thrown over towards middle. That's just to pull a little bit of attention. That's all SML is doing.
Obscure almost connects to that second, but a 3v3 to HP so low, but the Fishman fragging. Gotta keep it. Audio cue to Ding. That turns the head out from the jungle, and there is the encroachment upon the plant. SML, he goes deeper than the deepest man and has this in the back line. Gotta secure the plant now. Said the spoiler, here to overtime could be the most painful, and it actually is. Vinny, what was I saying before this game started? Ashland Eagles and 24 length Mirages. That's what you get almost every time. A tight competition, and they pull it across.
You truly did call it. That is crazy. I didn't remember that you had said that until you mentioned it right there. That is absurd, and you're absolutely right. Down to the wire, And SML, listen, I was pretty critical of some of the decisions that he made in what could have been a closer there at like 13-6 or something. Listen, capable of bringing it back, had another opportunity, did not with that one at all. Absolutely great stuff. And listen, I also want to, add on to that CT side. Simply so impressive from Ashland. I was talking about it, but I want to go back and mention that, Mark, so many times that they were like one step ahead of the adjustments. That was the key for me, is that they kept making changes. And then there was that one round, it was like, I want to say round 10 of the half, or it might have been round 11, regardless. But they had that A stack with the half buy. It was actually a force buy. They had everything invested into that, and they just stack up A, make that call, and it's a great crossfire. It's those moments that I think Ashland really showed why they deserved that victory on Mirage.
Yeah, 100%. But, I mean, with their map pick out of the way, Vinny, they're going to be headed on to an Ancient where, hey, man, they have a pretty clean track record as far as I can tell. And all of their officials, University of Austin, have played the season. They've won each one of them on that Ancient. So, and that's across all collegiate competitions from what I can see. So I think that they have a, pretty easy chance to put this one out to Inferno, being the energy we just saw back in full force.
Listen, this is a UTA team that we just saw. They don't have a quit, though. And that's what they're going to have to show on this Ancient. I think that that's very much a possibility, as we can jump into that one in just a moment. We're going to hit a quick break, and then on the way there, see you in a few. We got an Ancient here up next, Mark, and I'm going to be honest, it certainly does look good for this Ashland University squad, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, I think that they can put it out 1-0 here, 2-0, but I mean, you cannot exactly ignore the last 8 rounds of that game, maybe besides round 8 itself to put out the game, but I feel like U of T are here.
Yeah, listen, it certainly did look very good, just like the meat sticks over with our partners over at Winzel's Farms. Legendary Wisconsin meat sticks since 1977, and they are fantastic. I've had the privilege of trying a bunch of different flavors, and they are amazing. I didn't have a single one that I didn't love, so I'm sure that you're going to feel the same way. Definitely check them out. We appreciate all of their support here at the NECC. But as we maybe dive back into our discussion here and the action that we saw in the last 8 rounds of Mirage, well, yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement, Mark, that the vibe that I was trying to talk about on the close there before we went to break was, this is a team that clearly doesn't quit. And I think that that's a really important part of being down after you lose your map pick.
Yeah, I think it's a really important part of being a team that is like capable of actually winning here in the playoffs. And I don't just mean, yeah, you may not come up with that first map you attempt, but I mean like actually taking the entire thing. So having that lifeline you can see into the playoff here, I think either way, like we said, this Ancient is going to be really even ground, especially considering UT haven't lost one this season, Vincent. This is going to be challenging for Ashland to put away 2-0, especially starting on this T side.
Yeah, I will say this is where I think we've seen Ashland do some of their best work as well. No doubt, though, that UT are a very capable group on this map. From what I could gather here in the NECC only, they played 2 Ancients. They won them both. Looking good. Let's see what this defense looks like over at A. Not enough on the initial hold. Being set up on us perfectly.
But it's going to let him pass. Walks out, double, headshot can even maybe make it a triple. Thunnis going insane. These are 3 frags that they didn't have before. Give this man all 5. Working on that ace, and he is going to get it. Using a little bit of that energy he could have unleashed in overtime in Mirage to set this second map straight.
Well, ding, he set the man up for that one. Slam dunk. The alley-oop is perfect. UT, they've done it. Gotten themselves off to a pistol round victory. Obviously a big deal, and especially so when it comes to like the momentum that an ace like that will bring to the communication. The TeamSpeak likely going crazy. Ashland gonna leave it where it lies. Ain't no force buys. This is a UT squad that's gonna have some easy pickings here in a moment.
This ramp. See if they can get enough space for a bomb plant. SNL gonna put it down, force it. Gosh, this is actually really surprising. That's something more difficult. I feel like by happenstance there, they just stand a little bit less aggressively in responding to the rush up the ramp. UMT get a second just like that. Maybe Ashland get to cash a check more than they would have supposed. 2 out here for the CT side. And yeah, they didn't lose a gear for a single second standing from Mirage.
Yeah, I really, it's very rare that you see a game that could have ended 13-4 turn into a game that feels like it's so decidedly going back the other direction, only for, you know, you to see a closeout like that. I think that if we got to overtime, UT Austin likely to give them a real run for their money. Here's the guns. Nice counter nade. That's going to keep Funness a little bit lesser.
That'll hop into that next level, and I think his elbow spotted. Might go down to this nade. Just briefly in front of it, though, on this Lamont. Fishman has it fly by. There's that headshot almost instantly. Metal can't go down. Gets a little bit lucky, I feel like, hopping up top of it. His opponent goes down. This is UT looking so tantalizing because they're playing together and they're playing smart.
Yes, they are. I really, I'm going to be honest, I feel for Ashland there. I think that they probably should have gotten a little bit more out of that. Their timing was just, not kidding, seconds off from that being a very different round. But it's exactly what you're highlighting. The UT's timing is perfect, where they're sweeping between one and another and making sure that they are never taking that fight with the low HP bar. Always the next high health player looking to take the next fight. A couple of flashes here are going to get them out mid, but nobody there to receive. UT are just going to be passive in Donut.
Now, that's free transfer. This guy is already having himself quite a numerical map. And then 1.
The bomb.
Released. Crunch on this opper. No way. All of a sudden, I feel like that smoke goes down. This is almost a gun round. The reason this looks to be believable, flank automatically inside of a ramp, and honestly, I feel like the smoke is just going to help the surprise a little bit more sweeter in cahoots with this smoke already active. There's a flank feeding into this, but the game sense by Milkman is just magic.
SML's watching that.
Site.
Oh my gosh, he turned away. Oh my goodness.
Gets that on the timing. Flank all the way through. What a great result out here as UMT with a 4-0.
Ashland deserved that round, man. That is crazy timing. SML, he's locked in to the smoke walk the whole time. And I think it's just losing the player flanking Donut that pulls his attention. And that's a mistake from SML because his teammates watching that. He could have been safe behind Big Box. Instead, he's adjusted his eyes. Yeah, it's an eco, but Ashland could have won it. Great work from UT Austin. Recover that. We're going to see a little bit of pace change here. Ashland sprinting A, and it's everyone who's going through main.
At least 1 kill through the smoke before they get there. Will arrives right around this corner. Molotov right on top of him.
Very important to get Donut control. As that smoke fades, they have it. Ashland going to be careful, but UT have already assembled this retake fast.
Oh, with the double kill. They've been waiting for something like this, a 3v3. This has got to be sturdy enough to stand on. Metal flashes himself through, and now the Fishman boxes him out. This is a point-blank corner. Maybe a point-blank victory. Put the smoke down, and Zion is going to have them from the back lines, at least aware of his positioning. But now they've ran this line through. Ashland Eagles get their first on the T side.
A little speed test over at A. Make sure that they can get there fast, set up shop, and do so within the 30-second mark. And Ashland, they do get through with flying colors. Now, the question becomes, Does UT make adjustments? What do they want to do? Being had an auto shotty. He sold it though, his teammate saying, I got you, please sell.
This is the cave player. I'm afraid you have a bad influence. Let that auto shotty roll. That's what I like. See if we can get that angle at any point today. I don't like it.
Push through A.
The Inferno up third and get some shotguns.
UT have it all the information. Funness is just pushed through. He's about to be an elbow. Only opposition to that is that Ashland are now through house.
Double setup inside a cave. The double flank. Should find Ding. Good thing the bomb is on the ramp. Really good thing the bomb is on the ramp. Easy execution. Now SML is going to be seeing Milkman. It just happens so fast. They might forget about Obscure. They won't know about him at all, rather. This bomb plant going to go down. Obscure should get caught here. Trying to do a little bit too much. I feel like Spaz, if they didn't get their eyes on a moment ago, now they surely will. Gets the spray. Now Funness trying to beat back up. Oh my gosh. What a turnaround here. Still a 2v3. I think I even heard a comment about that in chat. What a ridiculous shot they're going to be saving.
And it's sad when Funness hits a shot like that. Yeah, I mean, listen, UT making a lot of good moves in this round, but there's also some errors, some issues. There's a house gap for like 45 seconds, and nobody's worried about it at all. Just want to highlight how unlucky Obscure is. Why is Spaz looking at sight? In his brain, sight should be so perma-clear. He's got a player in Jag. They just walked up ramp, and they've had somebody ramp the whole time. It should be impossible for anyone to be there. The fact that Spaz is looking actually just saves the round because Obscure gets nothing from what should have been a prime position. I feel the pain, but for UT Austin, that pain, it's just got to be temporary. They have to set their sights forward because they're still buying. They're still investing. An Ashland squad that's looking to put this to bed, and with a very competent T-half, they certainly could. It's this T side that, you know, if you want a target number, obviously pretty team dependent, but I'd say if you're 5 rounds, you're probably loving it, probably having a good time, and you could certainly get more.
Those good times are rolling, Penny. Nice turn for Ashland. I want way more for it. But they're heavier outside of middle. And even Metal now aggressive. Down, drop the bomb. Gotta go and really be effective in middle. Not sure if that's gonna be the word used. 2 versus 5. Far off.
These mid protocols really tough, I feel like, for Ashland.
Goodness me.
I mean, and it's, I think, more UT doing a good job than Ashland really struggling. But ultimately, the layering of utility is a little bit off on the Ashland side. It feels like it's just one step deep. Perfect work. Everyone getting some stuff done. And specifically as well, the fights towards B lane have been troublesome for Ashland. At no point have they consistently won those. They took a pause. Now Hoho's all gone.
Obscure for a moment. Part of the last map. Just lost Ho-Ho, just lost Zion, I think, going for a quick restart themselves.
Ashlander just getting things sorted out here.
FPS bug going around, I feel like, after those updates coming
Oh,
down.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
I have not had the opportunity to play very much CS. As you know, I'm moving house, so
Yes, you are.
there's been a lot of other things not gaming.
He's picking up the house he's currently moving in and
Yes.
planting it down somewhere else.
Which is very difficult, and I think I
That's
should be
really hard to
applauded
do.
for how easily I've made this happen. You know, I'm just picking it up. Some call me Popeye.
Do they?
Yeah.
Some do. He likes his, out of the can, rip it open, work it down. It's like this opening kill from Metal. Another one of those added to the pile. The can so that Metal's got a second, and Zion, what a timing that evades you. This is so frustrating to watch from the Eagles' perspective at the moment, but if we are an Austin fan, loving those Longhorns, it's an easy life right now.
Yeah, I feel like it is, once again, just the constant troubles with trying to work mid-control. Like, Metal has, on the opening fight specifically, been so good. Sun is still around. Oh my gosh, the flash would have gone so deep, too far, but yet Spaz, he still takes him twice over. A double kill that turns this from a disadvantage to advantageous. And UT, the problem is that they don't have any positioning to retake this. It's only through CT. With doubled up in Donut, Ashland have big advantages.
Back to back for it. I'm surprised they're even still committed at this point. He's now being spotted. This is just going to be the sway back down and how we're going to get these last couple of frags all lined up. Flick down. Zion going to put them both on the tee. Misses the green, so it's Ho-Ho that will pick it up.
Hey, man, he didn't miss anything. He hit him through the box in default there.
Did he? Did he?
He did.
You know,
he
it's
did.
one of those where just like, it's right over the top and it falls off of the tee. You put it back on. It still hit, though. For a leg to the golf ball.
I think we're mixing metaphors, to be honest with you.
I'm trying to get ready. I might go golfing over Thanksgiving, dude. You don't know.
I used to say
off of collegiate esports.
I used to hear that you're not supposed to mix metaphors, and I always thought my English teachers were like kind of dumb for that one. I was like, "What do you mean? That's like fine." I think I'm starting to get it.
Be a little bit.
They might have been right. They might have been right. Those silly English professors, I tell you.
Last that smoke. Goodness me. That's just instinct, not teaching those tactics for the double spray down. That's just all him.
Oh my.
Maybe aggressive at the top of that ramp. Gonna put the smoke down upon it. Smell now walking in the back lines. We'll make contact in time. Hide these guns away. Maybe our homeboy Ho-Ho can help him out. Skir just right around this corner. Happy 9 gonna be raised, and 2 seconds still left.
50 seconds gonna be spent saving. Pardon me. Ashland, they might be back here, Mark. UT with a nice adjustment to the way that they're playing mid. You don't want to get lulled into a false sense of security where you're running the same thing every round, right? We've been a lot of rounds where Metal has gotten off shelf. There's been a lot of fights there various times, but the adjustment this time is like fight through the smoke with a flashbang through Donut. And I think that's a good move. It catches the first guy, but SML, as we've been highlighting pretty consistently, and was the case back on Mirage, you know, the highest performer, he's been very good. And he's not going to let any of them save either. SML takes them all. Great work. Ashland up to 4 rounds, and with those 2 kills, UT Austin, they've got to eco.
That Molotov right at the top. T gonna pour it down. Pistol's making that contact first, but not too bulletproof. Right around it. Gonna make that HE at least stick. Tied game, Vinny. Right back to it. Eagles kind of Heimlich a bit. What am I saying as I get too ahead of myself? What the heck is going down this ramp, Vinny? Stop playing with each other.
I'm going to be honest, still probably nothing. And that's mostly because HP, Obscure doesn't have any Kevlar. Bomb's playing on the other side of the map. There's a lot of reasons, you know? I think that UT going to be very happy with a couple of free AKs, though. And not that it's going to matter, but, you know, Ashland, their money not going to be all that hot, though it should not make a difference considering we're so late into this half. Been a team heating up, though, Ashland. And I really don't want to... I don't want to say this in making it seem like UT Austin didn't deserve the 5 rounds that they have here. Because I think they did a lot of incredible work to do that. But there was a few of these rounds where I think Ashland sort of maximum unlucky. Not entirely, but a couple of those moments. And UT really taking advantage of that. At this point, that all the cards are on the table for UT Austin. Heavy presence out towards the A site this round. Seeming like an A split on the cards, but look at this setup. There's 2 here on A site proper and 1 in Donut. A crazy A-centric setup. UT could not be more prepared. Oh my gosh. Talk about timing. It's so unlucky.
Gracious. Metal can't quite land the spray off of the top. It goes worse. There's the in-game leader getting that kill. The Fishman goes a little bit deeper in the fire, and I think we'll flame this lead up on the Ashland side.
All right. I'm done talking about unlucky for Ashland because they had Lady Luck on their side right there. Walk through a smoke just as the defender turns around so that he's then shot in the back. Missed shot by the one man who was there. It was 3 guys on A momentarily, only for them to walk away, and it's a 2-man setup that is then broken apart by that timing through the smoke. Seriously crazy. And none of them get away either. Ashland take the lead, and they might just hang on to it for halftime.
Looking for Thunis, looking for Obscure. Where are the big plays at from the beginning of the first half? Feels like we've needed the rest of the cast to meet him. Ashland have dispatched pretty well. These last 6 that they've gotten of the last 7. Oh god, what have I done? We have time to play that clip he was showing us.
Yeah. Oh, we don't have the technology. It's impossible. Well, Thunis, he's playing a dangerous game. Tucked in the cubby. A boost on the other side of it.
Kills at the top. SML a little bit lucky if we're being honest. Falls to the ground with actually those bullets netting the frag. Number 2 guaranteed. Let's split up our Austin. Players on each site. And a fresh smoke on the ramp.
No, man. Oh my goodness. He gets away with it too. A zoom right back in, and he's out like the lights. There's no need for this continued aggression, to be honest with you, from UT. But they do get away with it. No problems. And there's a fake towards A that I think Ashland are overcomplicating.
Down that corner, there's a great headshot in a 4 versus 2 exchanged. The Fishman currently in position. Smell. Up, metals, slides, and they're actually... Every single bullet of that spray is transferred. Bomb in their control, at their hands, and can you get out of the grip? SML gonna hear them just run away, ding, distract. We gotta come on the flank into Fishman back.
Wow.
Unreal course of events Bomb down without expulsion. But now you got a clutch on the site, and it's down to a 1v1 to Fishman. Can he take 7 rounds in the first half? All of him damn self, and he cannot. It is tied up. U of T have a 4K to the Milkman. They Heimlich tied half.
Oh my goodness. Whew. I think I was holding my breath the whole time right there. To get the bomb, to have it down at 12 seconds left, and then allow it to be taken to the site in time to plant. That all feels like it should never have happened. And a 1v3 that nearly does go through. But almost not going to be close enough in this case. Still, an Ashland half that from down 0-5, right? I think that was the scoreline, to a recovery at 6-6. Hell, I'm happy for them. I think Ashland having a good time with that. And on the T side as well, it was highlighting, you know, a 6-round T side ain't nothing to scoff at. But we're going to see this go quick for UT.
3 players here on B. 2 right around that corner with Dooley. Zion showing up to it with the smallest of arms, but the biggest of outputs. This man is still alive, hasn't been taken down. You thought you needed the star play out of somebody? Well, you damn got it. Shining at the back of the site is Zion. 7 rounds here for the Eagles.
You know, there's a reason that they say your opper has the best pistols. It's that you saw right there. Precision in for Zion. That is utterly absurd. A play stolen out of the book of any professional pistol. I thought I was watching Dennis right there for a moment. That is crazy from Zion. Ashland will take that. A second half pistol round that led them into a Mirage victory. They're seeing the same things, dollar signs in the eyes. Gonna cash in for this one in map number 2.
Teased in the back. So close to that smoke. Actually just getting in front of it. Ashland Eagles. This is where they can take over the second half and get every ounce of belief back in them. That they can close out a series like this without worry. 2-0. It's a semifinal and you can't let that stress you out now.
Should be no stress on a round like this with the investment limited Deagles techs, but no Kevlar. Earlier tussles, but Ashland fall back. They leave it be. Let it lay where it lie. Bye.
Zion has this line, but yeah, give SML a shot. The in-game leader 4, barely tied. Well, there's the warning. Ashland have got a stylish couple of rounds out of their collection right at the beginning of this CT side. U of T, that's your cue.
Let's see if the shoe's on the other foot. Talked about a lot of struggles for Ashland with regard to their mid-control and the protocols. I think that UT had the better of them the entire half. I mean, it was only one round that I think really Ashland showed that off. Otherwise, they had everything UT's hands. Change onto the CT side, though. This is well practiced from Ashland. And not so heavy-handed from UT. They sit here, wait to receive. Defensive smoke placed at Jaguar entrance, and that's just going to be enough for them to hang out, chill for a moment. Mid control fully in Ashland's hands, but as soon as the elbow smoke fades, they've got to give it up, and they're already in the process.
Fishman takes down. This lurk should pay off, but Spaz hits every single shot, point blank, and fades out 4v4. Reinvestigates in A main because it had to just be one player, confirms it, even gets out with the AK on the upgrade.
Oh,
You've earned it.
There's a big problem. He does just confirm, but he's calling confirmation in what's going to be a false equivalency. Clear for now, but not forever. Noticing that the AK been grabbed up by Spaz. Last piece of utility here for basically the entirety of Ashland on Spaz is this incendiary. 25 to go. UT have to hit it.
There's that touch in the double entry. U of T get a little bit of help back with the Molotov. At least squeaking one name from the list. Actually make things a little bit more legible. Trying to get this through. Sick on the spam. So close. No damage. Literally none from it. So that smoke just bottled up close to it. Can't quite force Ho-Ho to find a frag. This is unretakeable from where I stand, Vinny. Ashland Eagles still commit to it, though. And they get this frag. Don't make me regret immediately saying those words. Milkman, this is quite a hard angle to fight back. But here's the tap. 5 seconds away. Milkman from inside of Donut has it down to a 1v1. And now Flash Dodge has to recover the headshot. Davidson does. The Milkman keeps it up. And now you're back within 1.
Yes, indeed. It takes a lot for UT. Ashland, they were never ahead fully in that. And let me just highlight Metal's entries there. Feel like he gets a lot done despite Spaz's great position. His timing on the incendiary could not have been better. Ashland bested in that round, and look at this spot. It's a little bit all over the place. 3 and 4s, 2 5.7s. A wide array of utility. Just take mid control. First step for UT.
Set opening headshot. UT had a big asset inside a cave. Gone down to Fishman. Needed to come and get a frag there. Fortunately, followed after facing one of their best players.
Henry aggression. Touched up, caught. UT. Gonna be that times 2. Or not! SML! He's a menace, and he can't be stopped! It's Spaz on the other side of the map that catches his kill as well, and it's a 1v1 with Metal so low.
Goodness me. There is just no way. I mean, Metal in this HP is just going to have to outposition, and I'm afraid that is not going to be the reality that we see. Here's Ashland immediately hopping onto the bomb. Spaz was one of your most clutch players back on map number 1, Mirage. Here he's got 9 in hand, 4 rounds away from taking this semifinal 2-0.
But don't let Spaz's clutch there distract you from SML. 131 ADR, deep into this on 20 kills, and a 3K. That it's exactly what I said back on Mirage. It's this guy that can turn rounds on their head. He claws back disadvantages, changes the course and the projection of the game, and he's done it once again right there. Absurd triple on a 5-7. Puts UT back in the bin, at least for now.
Where you currently stand. Was a fan of this opening kill within cave. Always seem to find it onto the Fishman. They can't quite protect it. U of T's default does seem to take a next sweet step. They have middle. They have really everything that they're contending for at the moment.
Here we go again.
Also.
Push down ramp. You say under pressure, Spaz. It's all a little bit of a ruse there. Meant to set up Zion, but they're just going to smoke it off, leave it alone. But Ashland keep going.
It's Metal on top of it. SML going to quickly shimmy back to his feet. This B-side alive. He will even double down on himself. Needed to keep himself alive there to defend the B-side, but got greedy. And that's the round.
And that's a moment where SML just feeling as if he's got to do the entirety of all of the heavy lifting, and it's that feeling that makes him make a poor decision. Oh, tragic air burst. Not going to hold him off.
Honest with that double kill. Somehow even a team kill in the back lines. Metal not looking at it. That is all covered. Even with that micro mistake, That's what it will look like in the end. Ashland Eagles got money problems here, amongst other things.
Yeah. Just a pain point there. Remember, they had money problems before, and that really wasn't a problem for them. Crucial round, though, from UT. Coverage was perfect. They knew where the gaps were at. Even as they walked back away from mid-control that they had just gathered back, they looked for shelf. They punished SML for the re-swing. It's Austin and their turn to take a talk pause, but they have themselves a very clear avenue to a lead right now. What is it that stands in their way? It's just a couple of 5.7s, a Deagle, and 2 MP9s.
Yeah, it's Inferno essentially in the palm of their hand, right?
I don't know about that. That's a little far.
I feel like you lose this opportunity. Ashland, in that specific scenario, beating them up on the eco that they should lose at the moment. I feel like this also sets that spark. I don't mean any hyperbole there, but to be honest with you, I really do feel that way. Gotta make sure that this sets in motion your way to the third map.
Zion could have stood in the way. Instead, he's cut down at the knees. We're going to see this saved over. Tied score line. Seems a certainty. Not so much the save.
I really want them to save. Run it back, literally, with the guns that we have right now in the next round. They had 4 sets of Kevlar up. After losing the A site and all these smokes were out here. This is Ashland burning money right now.
Yeah, quite literally setting it on fire. I would agree with you. I hope they're getting some warmth from it, because they're certainly not going to be bolstered any other way economically. At least the Fishman going to make good on that promise for a couple of saves that I'd made. But a tied scoreline. UT Austin, I don't necessarily think that they're fully in control of this map, but they certainly are in control right now. Their momentum is in the right direction. And we're going to need to see some step-ups from the rest of Ashland, right? This has been SML or nothing on this second half. Spaz has had some really important moments, but the other guys that we typically are going to, anticipate seeing, obviously Zion's big pistol round notwithstanding. The Fishman struggling. Ho-ho. Unseen. This, a set of USPs outside of the saved Kevlar and 5.7.
Easy ecos. Both hands open. And maybe one of the flips empty. And, like, good job on a Zion. Everybody around this, excuse me. U of T flip to the 4th quarter of this ancient Ashland's map pick and they take the lead.
Good stuff. Working well at this thing. Our UT, and listen, as they shave off round after round, pick up a lead now. We turn to a round of increasing importance here for Ashland. This is where you were talking before, where I said it might be a little bit of an overstatement. Now, it's all on the line.
Top. Metal does have that spray. Onto Zion for SML. Coming out of cave. Couldn't clear, but the Fishman is back, and he is making his presence known. Ho-ho. Next on to Ding. An Obscura in a 1 versus 4. Ashland back to a tied game. It looks to be the Fishman closing over the top.
Clear it? Not at all. There's a way back in. Hold on. Obscure
no.
You might have done this. Oh, thankfully
got
not
that angle
isolated.
back on to the Fishman, who was just crouched on the right side. Bomb given to him here. Let him have it, I say. They should assume that once this vision is got, I mean, it's going to be the bomb gutted immediately. Ho-Ho looking for comeback.
Don't push.
The Fishman, I feel like he's about to walk up into his crosshair. Just stays remaining still. The patience of virtue. Right now, it's got to be this sight that's brought back. And it is 10-10. Ashland stand in a 1v4, lose 2 casualties, but they would rather have the round.
And they do have the round. UT gonna weather that storm quite nicely. They've built up a bank account that they'll be able to drop over anyone who's low on cash. But I'll tell you this, Ashland, the stakes, they don't get any lower now. They were at maximum, and they stay right there because any further losses, especially in this round, is going to mean an eco. Whoever loses this round, likely to be economically broken. UT Austin, a little bit less so, but statement true nonetheless. As they work themselves from the outside of B, they've left mid alone.
Ashland good about recycling their smokes back in the top of this ramp. Fishman and SML, I think, gonna just double boost on the box. Honestly, not too big of a fan of this. U of T really focused in prompting this B default to entirely lead to the exec. Feels like there's going to be a fight here into Cheetah before that does happen. Numbers for it. There's no fan with the kill, and now you just got to get out of it. There's usually never a way you're walking out clean from that setup, but at the top of the site, it's a different hell you've got to pay. Ho-Ho with 1 frag.
And he needs to stay alive. I mean, that is the requirement right now. Honest, multi-kill required from him.
He's got to finish it, and he does. Ho-Ho is still around here. Honest, trying to box them back. What a damn attempt it has been already. Ho-Ho almost catches the back of a player, eats a damn nade. He's going to be deaf from this point, and now just got to deal. Off of the contact. It is obscure. And right here trying to find Thunis. They are just juking him out. This could be Ashland fumbling the bag at the brink.
Setup in cave that should have been better. It really should have gotten more. SML can't get out, can't escape. And a duo that walks back in from game ender where Thunis does the damage. An ace all the way back in the pistol round of this map. He comes out clutch in a must-win moment. And you know what Ashland are doing? They're giving this up. They're giving UT the availability to find map point. 12 is something that they are allowing with this type of investment. Only a few upgrades. And in fact, a couple of USPs. Danae stack in the hopes to buy a miracle. Ashland putting a lot of faith in their own gun rounds, and then, of course, their overtime performances.
Five 7 checks him in the house. There's only one more of these. Batch USPs. They essentially have to break. All outside of A also. See a deadly nade. Away. Metal does have it collected. 5-7 would need to get a double here. Can't. Metal doing everything to just ease the idea of this thing being locked together. 1 versus 4 now for SML. And this is quite a start. Low HP on Metal. That's a factor he's got to deal with, but now facing them both! Oh my god! It had to be Metal getting the ace there to save the day. Otherwise, it would have been eco territory for Ashland, but it might be Inferno up for U of T as they look to send the series to a best of 1 essentially at the end of map 3.
Oh, you're starting to see Why SML is so untouchable in some of these rounds, nearly takes them all, but instead Metal does that. 5 kills for the ace and the clutch. They'll rely on Ashland. He's got rounds to bring them back in.
Zion, double kill through that smoke. SML going down on B is a big name.
He's up on shelf, actually. Certainly going to open up proceedings, and dang, he's got Ho-Ho. So it's the Fishman alone left on B.
Holding a good angle. They should be aware of this. And what an agile shot. I thought it would have been done if the Fishman dies. Rotation in. Spaz got to hit these shots. So many effective rotates back on Mirage. And now Zion over the top as well. Gonna be bottling back with the Fishman as Spaz goes down with nothing. 5 HP on Metal, but already making that contact. And now back up on it. Metal just making magic every damn moment. Now Zion here, toting from the back lines, and I do not think they got eyes on this player sneaking into the cave. Milkman should see the barrel here, or the back turned. Gotta clear this cubby. Now Zion on the investigation. How far is the clear coming? Is the barrel seen? Now 1 HP. Metal on the other side. Just have to predict it. And personally, he'll get it done. Zion goes all 24 rounds. A constant in this Ashland camp. But now it's overtime or bust.
We've been talking about SML. He's kind of been the guy for this CT side. Been necessary to do some heroic things. And we've seen a couple of these differences as this game has gotten later where Ashland have stepped up. You had the Fishman has done the same. And now Zion in the clutch. It's everything that Ashland needed to get to that point. But they need more. It's down to a 1v1. You know, that means that the money is going to be harsh. Zion gets into an AWP. There's a few kits involved. A lack of utility as SML gets the AK.
Zion active. You should see a shadow before his body. Gets that kill on Nathunis. That was your ace clutcher from the pistol round. Motion man in some of these big moments, excuse me. Alongside Metal, top performer here, there's no doubt about it. Now they walk without a member.
From a 4-on-5, UT gonna have to work through adversity that they've shown before back on Mirage. Hell, even Ancient has had some of that adversity, been shown, been seen, and been dealt. Back through mid, it's UT Austin that walk it back up. Nobody's seen, but shooting at ghosts. You can see a hair trigger. They look to pull on towards B, where 2 defenders stand.
Sees that shoulder. Now tossing it forward with that Molotov. UT. But definitely at the man disadvantage here of getting into this site. Until it's one man. It's Metal to make it happen. He's got to get a third here around this corner, but he pushes him off the angle for a second. Almost getting this down in front, but they just line up for the Milkman. And we're going to Inferno. It's a third map guaranteed as Ding gets it all the way down. We're 48 rounds deep into this series, Vincent. And yeah, we have a nobody that is lent to be the advantage player going on to this third map. It's going to be Inferno. We go on 1-1. We're all tied up in this semifinal.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a quality effort there from Ashland, betting on themselves, but SML 27 frags deep, can't quite bring him over the finish line, and an opening pick as well from Zion's op that he barely had on the CT side. Not quite enough, that man advantage, to bring them over to a 2-0 victory. We do need Inferno. And you know what I gotta say? Very impressed with Metal, specifically his T-side entrying. I think that he was so supremely good in comparison to even what we were like seeing on the T-side there for Ashland, who had a pretty decent T-side, all things considered. But I was very impressed with what Metal was showing, and I'm very happy, excited even, to see what he might be able to do on Inferno as well.
Yeah, I got to imagine you got to stay active for this. I really tip my hat to Metal I mean, upon that performance, it was really back and forth between him and many members. Going to be looking to see how the Fishman and SML respond. But in a long series, Vincent, you got to stay up. You got to stay agile, and especially in every facet of your game. Specifically, where at this point, you've got to be feeling it probably in the eyes. But gamers, that's what we have to acknowledge. They take a beating out there, but By Blue Light will have you covered, Vinny. They're the official eye care partner over here at the NECC. Premium blue light glasses keep you sharp, focused, and of course, ready for victory without eye strain. You can level up your game and your protection by checking out By Blue Light, BYEBluelight.com, Vinny.
While you level up, we are going to level up to Inferno. That's coming up next. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned. Well, we got you made it. We had that timer on the screen, but we're ready to go a little bit quicker than that. Yeah, reeling it in, something like that. I'll tell you this, I'm certainly reeling it in, and this is a catch, this game, that is, that you and I have got. Oh, I feel so special now. We've got a fantastic game that's continuing on to a decider of Inferno, a semifinal that is exactly what you would hope to see out of a game of this caliber. Mark, honestly, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you have any idea where you think this is going? Any particular direction?
Yeah, Ashland have been the better team for the last, 3 halves of Counter-Strike, right? There's no doubt about it in my mind. I think they're probably going to be, I did not mean Ashland. I meant U of T, right? The better team in the second half of Mirage, arguably. I mean, out there, it was Ashland that just, screwed the cap on it there. Pretty automatic on Ancient, you asked me, for the most part. I gotta say that most of Ashland stuff I really feel like wasn't foretold. It was probably U of T, in my opinion, really controlling that game until you really kind of got into the start of the second half and that pistol did flub. It was awkward, but onto this Inferno, it's gonna be other notions. They're obviously undefeated, talking about U of T on their Ancient right before this, and Inferno not the same.
So you're feeling UT Austin, and I can't blame you. I think that Ashland, no, team you cannot ever count out. I like this setup as well. The bait setup that they have 4 players towards A. Unsure where this is going to end, though, with some banana control just being taken by Austin. Bomb towards the bottom of a mid as well. They could go anywhere here. Anymore. Get back to B. So it's all up to SML, and he's going to walk it forward.
Sees a couple of players. In fact, he's out with his life. It's a bit of a miracle. And keeps him honest with the flashbang, as now they're going to be running it up. In-game leader is going to be dictating most of the communication as they come into his sight. But will they even get this far? The answer is no. This is Ashland showing up big to Inferno.
Listen, SML is going to have a chip on his shoulder, dropping 27 frags in a losing effort on Ancient, and that's exactly the type of setup that I can get behind. Ashland know what they've got. They know who they've got in SML, and it's exactly why you can afford to play 4-1 in that type of setup, because SML will get you 3. Great work out of the Eagles and out of SML. UT, who have pretty consistently opted out of, Force Buy Wars, right? They briefly engaged in that when they won the pistol in the first half of Mirage. Ashland fought back with a Force Buy of their own, but other than that, they have let that be, and it's another similar decision here.
Smoked out in front of them. You can get pretty far in these Tech 9s, man. I'm a fan. Or you can get a flash on Inferno. One of those, U of T. Believe in that. You didn't buy one, Vinny. We'll go and try it. Maybe a flash on this corner. That'll teach him a lesson. Keeping him at range. Zion gets back to the site. Baz, Ho-Ho, everybody getting a chance. Not a death in totality from the Eagles there. And only that initial death on SML back in the pistol round. This thing has been clean so far.
That's world class, actually. Just
rounds.
making sure to keep them at bay, at distance. Make sure those Tech 9s, though, they can be very deadly even at a
Are you still
pretty nice
blushing
range.
from the pregame?
I am actually. My face is red, like beet red.
Oh man.
I don't know what to
Couldn't
do
help
with myself
myself.
or with you.
I compliment the co-cast. You always make sure keep the vibes high. I mean, the Counter-Strike not causing any problems.
No.
Nor are there bad vibes. We're just like into the positive entirely. A little bit of a dinky.
Good time.
Oh yeah. No, we're happy to be back in playoffs. To the semifinals. Of course, it's a little crazy saying that out loud already.
It does feel that way.
Fall has flown
Crazy.
by.
Crazy like our observer?
Yes.
We're strong still.
I was gonna try and tie in both producers' names real quick. Can't quite make it. Good light at this corner though. The MP9 getting most of that damage, like actually onto the building. Manages to get that frag. Ho-Ho also in cahoots. Back here on the bomb site. That's where that is. Flash. That's honestly the fray pretty perfect. Ashland Eagles get a hit up on this A site. And they keep 3 players alive, though the Fishman 3 away from death.
Yeah, I mean, early damage will always be a ticket to success, right? Take down Banana. That's where Ashland started that round. It's courtesy of SML that they get the opening pick. But then everybody on the A-bomb site handles their business accordingly as well. UT going to take a tack pause. We're not very deep into this half yet, so I don't think there's a lot of worries. But for now, Ashland have overcome every struggle or every problem put in front of them in this first half. Granted, very early on. But you got to give that credit where it's due to them. 9s and such with lots of Kevlar. And a seemingly quite specific amount of utility that seems like a clear plan is at hand for UT Austin.
Life of Ding we're watching right now. Seeing this man go and explore. He's the eyes and
like
the
a
ears.
movie.
Yes, it is. Life of Pi, you're thinking. The boat, the tiger. That could be, that could be us. You know?
Who's the tiger?
Who's the dude and who's the hallucinatory, who's the fake tiger. But
Oh, I
We'll
think I
figure it
might be
out.
the fake tiger.
you're all too real to me, Vinny. In my heart.
That's exactly
Aw,
that's exactly the purpose of the movie, isn't it?
there you go. Heck of a book, too. They open it up on this B site, though, to the Fishman as he'll spray down on the eco. So we're running through smoke and punching, bringing that pain. Maybe a little bit of distraction. They just can't quite wait their time. This frag. Couldn't quite open the smoke either. That was 2 smokes thick.
Yeah, a little bit more smoke than they bargained for.
Wide as a smoke.
CS2,
Yes,
it's pretty thick.
in feet.
You might be able to cut it with a knife.
How many feet thick?
Probably a good 5.5.
Yeah, maybe go. We'll bump that up a little bit. Bump that up a little bit.
Yeah, you're
A
right.
little maybe some of the smaller smokes, right?
Yeah,
No,
I think
all the
in
same.
Go, it'd probably been like 4.5 feet.
Yeah, for sure. They start put more fuel in them. Got no clue how smoke grenades work. Not a clue. Not a clue.
Do you want to know? Hold on, I can tell you, but after this
After
round.
the round, gives a big swing. That should go the way, I feel like, of the 8 Eagles, but more players, more the merrier. SML can at least have this kill. they're gonna go respond to
The
this.
bomb?
They get 2 of these kills on the A site, yet they're not gonna be married to it because they don't have the bomb also. So they gotta go down here and just deal with the B defenders. SML, he's looking at this line that Obscure is also gonna have to cross. Didn't get to collect the bomb. A little bit indecisive is Zion. There it is. Now eyes on the bomb. It's essentially a 50-50. Now back to the B site. It's Zion that's going to post up here.
Oh, they got 2
Smoke grenade
smokes.
in both hands.
I'm not going to pull off the shot through that. Hoping to deny. Now loud about it. It's spammed down heavy.
Might be done. Might be just too far now. 1v2. But Zion's still going to put his life on the line. Does have a smoke for the bomb. Determination for this clutch. Seeing with it currently online, it's going to be Zion that taps on it. It's going to be the full 5-second defuse. Zion has it. That is a little too ridiculous for me. Obscure would rather go for the nade instead of spam the smoke. Adding for the style points, it's only going to put more rounds on the board for Ashland.
That was heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking for UT Austin. And it's such a question mark where probably should never have happened. I don't even think it's style points trying to throw that nade in there. I think that's just the quote-unquote reliable decision to make, and instead it's punished. Oh no. Painful as it might be, UT Austin gotta have a short memory. Play to forget. Maybe have to remember afterward. Only one man at the top of Banana. He smoked off. The rest look towards Archside. Approached upon brackets. But Ashland, they've only got 2 players here.
Oh, spinning on the top. Smell and can get this frag in the corner. Opening kill here. Sitting in Ashland's lap. Speed up to A. Feels like it's a little bit desperate when it's all pitched from inside lane. On the fly, so to speak. Perched up from Moto. Here's the angle readjustment out from the site. Ho-Ho with a really good kill. This smoke is going to be tripping them up so hard.
Now they just got to look elsewhere, at least for now. Right into an op, maybe.
Well,
and it is.
Done. And what a second shot that had to have been. A great flick there. Obscure 1v3. After finding that frag. I mean, Vincent, we think about these little moments on the way to our grand finals. We're going to be talking about how Ashland probably get away with a little bit more than they should here in the first half. Maybe a clutch that Obscure can have because apparently anything is a little bit believable today. The shot in the head, and SML will be loving that. A 9-3 start that he has personally. You think back to that defuse. This scoreline. The pressure in this game, it's a best of 1 essentially that you have for the grand finals point. No lower bracket to this thing. You're done, you're done.
Bro, how do UT have so much money? I don't understand where they've got it.
They invested well. What do you want me to say?
What did they invest in, Mark?
I have no comment.
I just wanted to know what I should invest in, since obviously you have a good inclination.
Their portfolio? Yeah, portfolio.
Well, I'll tell you this, it certainly does look good. SML spotted, but cannot be demolished.
Whoa.
Nade follows them down. Walkback's actually really impressive. Ho-Ho doesn't quite realize how much is happening here.
This man sprays down. Nathanis. Oh, gets that advantage out of the angle of the smoke. That's just maybe a little bit more distance, but Milkman, that was first frag in the game. 3v3. And Zion is going to be pivoting looking for this pull. This is the only point that they have in this site, and that's too devious of an angle. Milkman will have that. It's the entire A site allotted to them. Should be the first round by UFC.
Yeah, I mean, it ought to be. Fast move for the Fishman. SML's a little slower, but he is coming on the flank. Seems like they kind of want to go for this. Eat that nade. Surely not. Yeah, time to run away. And for UT Austin, all honesty, a round that looked pretty ugly. They get themselves a great position there in Archside, but what was meant to be a split B, I think, ends up having to go A because the B players for Ashland just took banana entirely. Made it impossible. Ooh, it's a miss there for SML to get out of the pit, but unfortunately for UT, they lose their lives even on that flub. So it's a big victory. UT Austin, at least. Oh, wait. I can finally tell you how smoke grenades work if you still want to know.
Yeah, please. Enlighten me.
It's a chemical reaction. So there's like, a thing that obviously like lights in there. And then a bunch of chemicals react to create a gas.
Thanks.
I
It's
got
actually... I don't think... that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Might have to know that for one time I play a Minecraft mod and there's a smoke grenade recipe. I'm gonna be like, how did Vincent explain that? What do I maybe have to get here?
Yeah, it'll be
You know
like
what I'm saying. You know what
borium.
I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
It'll be like
Right,
borium
right.
and like some such. I do know exactly what you're saying.
That'd be a freaky mod pack, I'd say. That'd be a bit of a crazy peek too from Ding. I thought he was going up lane. There's the barrel spotted. The tunnel visioned on it. Almost like it's a spray transfer. Ho-Ho coming in and just putting everybody ablaze from the top. It's obscure. It does make this a little bit easier. You see the feet through that spam.
Dude, he walks through.
SML, he's going through it. Maybe getting a little bit too overzealous here at the B site. Now you have him boxed in. It's the Fishman over here at the half wall who's just gonna have to stand and hold his ground. Can't get the trade. Now it's gonna be Spaz rotating to A.
Yeah, Ashland, for obvious reasons, playing really confident right now, but I think that overconfidence, it's deadly. And in this case, it certainly is. 1v2 for Spaz. Don't want to call this done because it certainly is not. Obscure drops the smoke, and he might not be aware, but he is certainly ready. Spaz cut down. UT Austin. It isn't really a rocket start that they find in this second or third map, but if they can pull back a recovery as they have already started, I wouldn't be too worried about them.
It will seem to get a little bit easier when these ecos do come about, but I liked how you pointed out how ugly that first round they got was. Like, really was due to the circumstance as well. I'm not just saying that their end, you were seeing how the errors were seeing their parts into it, but how maybe a couple less back in round 8. We're getting better here. Flash this MP9 into Banana, got a 5-7 its partner. We need it to get active. Look at this gun, likely back towards A. Maybe a little bit late. 5-7 gonna be right around this corner. Lucks out with 1 kill.
To be honest with you, this one feels set in stone again. As I say that, Ashland again move forward. They've got a vision on things I can't see. Here they go.
79, this 5-7 out of bear minimum, but if you're sending them all in, you might as well go with the entire crew, and at least they commit to it, Vinny. It's going to be a third here for the University of Austin. They get it going. University of Texas at Austin. Excuse me. And their varsity team. I don't know if I've really made the difference tonight.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're not used to saying that because normally it's Matthew McConaughey fan club.
Exactly. This is the improper name for the team.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
What class do you think he teaches? I'm sure that's like posted somewhere. It's got to be.
No, I have no idea. Genuinely.
Would have loved to just like ran into bro at the major and like, yo, Matthew.
I don't really know that he's into esports, to be honest.
Dude, why not, bro? Ben Affleck went to the Valorant championship or whatever.
What game?
You be quiet. You be quiet. You literally cashed it. Sometimes.
I don't know what you're saying. Don't know what you're saying. Never heard of it personally.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's been brainwashed. Forgot. Cast a spell on him. He just doesn't know it. Don't tell him. He's muted right now and deafened.
What?
Now I will unmute and deafen him. Chad and I have a little bit of a insider joke now.
Oh,
Inside
cool.
joke, I say. Double Molotovs up. Yeah, we're getting to know each other better in chat.
I'm glad for you two.
The NECC fans. Probably the first time
Hey,
we're
what
seeing these University of Austin gamers up here in the NECC stream, like you said. Seen Ashland a couple times.
Look at this retake set up, especially that double nade. Oh man, and Milkman, he was surely dead as soon as he jumped. 5-on-3, and it's just a really great retake banana protocol. Full retake as well. That's beautiful. Are they just gonna save this? Honestly, they might. 40 seconds. Look to re-clear. If they get this kill on SML, all bets are off.
It's a weird jump spot that he has, so I'm kind of worried. Spots him. Way of putting that down. There's their lurk gone. I think now they're just going to save. 7 rounds here for Ashland.
An entire round, pretty much, off the back of the protocol set up for that retake on B. Double nade tree, Molly broom, flash over the top, and a deep smoke. That is... You want to take notes, right? You're asking about teaching classes. If you want to have a class on 101 how to retake banana control, example A.
There you go. There you go. Probably in some Danish classroom somewhere, you know? They really got to kick up that curriculum. They're like, Lucky didn't do it for us. You know, we got a static, but train the next young guns.
That's where Nut Nut comes in.
True. He's like, been studying this Counter-Strike in the classroom, and now I'm back. Of course, I'm referring to the actual, like, Counter-Strike curriculum that does exist in, like, probably a dozen data streams, which still counts. That applies to college credit somewhere. Who knows, Vinny?
Oh my gosh.
That MAC-10 up in the fire. I feel like that flame hits Ho-Ho. It definitely does.
Yeah, that's a
Hurts.
dicey one. Zion's missed the mark on the kill and the molly. It's weird that UT don't take advantage of that fully. They could have had a really quick move through A. Again, SML pushed down banana. They're looking for this reaction. Or excuse me, that's the Fishman. It's often been SML, but the Fishman now there. And they know that that's been so consistent. So they look to, I'm gonna say, retake this. Maybe not.
Fish out of the corner. Ding, trying to just get anything out of the water here. Might end up actually pulling it off the line this time. So he is thrown from inside of lane, but I'm not going to be a critic. Oh, Ding just got right past Zion into this timing of the corner. All of Ashland will be here. To be honest with you,
Leave it.
first couple of seconds after the utility fades doesn't go their way, they're turning the ship around, and I would support them.
Ashland have struggled to make that decision, though. They do finally make it. The right call is made. Quick on the hunt, of course, is Ding. Big frustration. They pulled the one rotator. That's the key. The Fishman felt the pressure, and he called for some support.
Terrorists win.
Everyone gets out, and UT don't go hunting. Even if they don't win this fifth round, for UT Austin, this is a great recovery from 0-6 down to about to be 5-7 half. They could probably be proud of. Seriously impressive retention. They struggled through the first part of this half. They found a way to win. Ashland starting to be a little bit readable here. Oh no, naded by both the enemy and themselves. UT eat tons of nade damage at the bottom of B. Sheesh. Nobody shot a single bullet. This is all nades at the beginning of this round.
Oh, they gotta get their hands dirty. Oh ho. Just gonna get in front of the timing here. Nade in hand, and that is just gonna be so frustrating. Feel on this Austin side.
Still not going to go on this. Under the 1 minute mark, bracket in their hands. But Zion's up, waiting around this corner. What? Where did the bullet go? Through the legs, I presume.
And what? No! Even the team kill! This is not gonna happen. A little bit of damage to it made it so far. And easy for that to be plucked. That's right down. 1v4. It's gonna be an 8th here at the end of the half. Handed by Ho-Ho. Ashland are looking to meet, and I will provide you with a bit of an update. Phoenix Cumberland in the grand finals.
Oh boy. Okay. Already got one grand finalist. Look to crown another.
Very nice.
In this here best of 3.
You'd like to see that.
Tell you this. That's a team with a story.
Definitely is.
Well, that
Talk about a fastest rebuild, you know? I mean, goodness.
right. Referring to a team that's lost their entire core, all but 2 players, and we were able to rebuild now in a grand final.
It would be out of the VRS. In other words, 3 players gone. Gotta start fresh, not in collegiate esports.
Yeah, quiet. We don't do that here.
In this flash up, ooh, a flying Zion. Obscure metal from the site. Should be favored in this fight. Keeping the USP close and personal. Milkman with the collateral at the end. And it's gone. This is big time ballin' for Austin, as they have just bought their ticket into the second half.
When's the last time you saw a collat with the USB? It's been a minute for me.
60 seconds ago. Wait, scratch that. 20 seconds
All
ago.
right. Okay. You think
Before
you're
that-
cute.
I don't know. I am cute. You're right.
Yeah, you are.
Wow. Calm down. Calm down, buddy. Actually, it's the eco round. Be as freaky as you want.